Yes, good morning, good morning, good morning, tri-state area world, the entire Caribbean family locked on. Of course, this is CaribStar Radio, and this is your Caribbean Sunrise with yours truly, Vayne and Kevin Crown. And you know how we get down. You know what we like to do. We always love to have amazing guests in the building, and today is no exception. She is an amazing songwriter and vocalist, and I could call names: Jay-Z, Alicia Keys, Miley Cyrus, Snoop Dogg, and so many more. She is phenomenal. She is a queen. Her name is Angela Hunte.
That was the best intro ever.
I tried. Good
You did
morning.
good. Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed.
I'm blessed.
We're
blessed.
we're excited that you're here, and honestly, I love your background. You're like and your energy. I can feel your energy. Like here, it's like you're like in your zen.
Yeah.
This is my Zen corner. It's my little art corner. Actually, the art goes all the way up the wall, and it's a wall of like jaguars and cats. I love tigers and leopards.
Come on, tigers.
Sure. Yeah,
we love tigers too.
Yeah, lion.
I like
So,
panthers.
strength.
I like panthers.
Panthers.
If it's a girl,
It's a girl?
I'll put her on the wall.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
if it's a girl.
it's just girl cats on
I'll
the
put it
wall.
on.
Just girl cats on the wall.
It's just girl.
I
Cats.
see.
Absolutely.
I see what's going on here. Well, she's definitely here in the building.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I think the last time I saw you, we was at a show, and I believe it was me, you, Machel, and a lot of soca people. You know what I mean? And
Ooh,
a
my
lot-
brother from another mother.
yes, and and always great vibes, great energy. But I didn't know at the time that you had written so many songs. I think I learned that after. You know what I mean? That I when I first got introduced to Angela Hunte, I knew you from Party Done. You know what I mean? And then doing my research and just hearing some things, it was like, yo, she wrote that and she wrote this, and I was like, wow, the range is crazy. I know your roots are in Trinidad and Tobago, obviously, but how does somebody born in Trinidad and have roots in Trinidad, how did you branch out and get into the mainstream?
You were born in the U.S.
You're
correct?
born in.
So yeah, let me clear that up.
Okay.
A lot of people
Yes.
don't really know, and I don't know what's up with our people, but some people just don't like to Google, and you can get everything you need from Google. It's really easy.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was born in Brooklyn.
Hey.
I'm one of the only like family members who actually was born in New York because my mom came up to New York and met my dad there, who's Trini, but they happened to meet in New York, and I happened. But she went back to Trinidad, and I was raised in Trinidad. Like a lot of people who are born in Brooklyn, sometimes they go back and forth, which I did a lot until I realized I really wanted to sing. And then my mom said, okay, I think we're going to plant her in the US permanently. But throughout my entire childhood, up until like 14, 15, I would go 5 years, 3 years, just back and forth. So I consider myself raised in both. I was very lucky to have both, but Brooklyn, you could be in Brooklyn and be raised like a Trini. So
Facts. Yeah.
is this to me is like the same. So when I came back to America, and I started writing, a lot of people don't know, really young. So at that time, I was actually ghostwriting for a lot of rappers.
Yeah.
I was like the girl in the neighborhood that could write hooks, like fast, and write them as if I was like a boy. I had a great way of like having a male's angle. And even though, a lot of rappers don't really like it to be known that maybe they didn't write something or whatever. So, hush money was given, and you just kind of like write. And it was great for me because I was so young. So $200-$300 was like, going to buy like these kids all I gotta do is just write these hooks, and I was like mentored a lot by Easy Mo B, who did a lot of Biggie's music, his early music, like Craig Mack and a lot of people. And I was just happened to be really young and was taken in by male producers who were like really, really big rap producers. And I just was able to sit in these studios and learn so much from them. and I just started my writing career from there. I always was an artist, but the writing was a way for me to make money to fund, my artist career. And I never intended to really write for people until Salam Remy came back around in my life. So Salam Remy is a producer. If you don't know who he is, he
Oh,
also is
definitely. Big up Salam. He's legendary, honestly. Yeah.
legendary. Legendary. That's like my everything. He taught me everything that I know. And a lot of people don't know, like we worked together for like 14 years. So he plucked me from the Brooklyn streets and was like, we gotta get this girl off the streets and we gotta get her in the studio. And he just believed that I could write. And he goes, you listen, you can do the artist thing, but you could write. You should write for other people and it'll really help support you. And I was just like, really? And I just didn't get it at first. But he was like, listen, let me work with you and let me hone on your skills and let me teach you how you can become a really great writer that I think you are. And sure enough, I used to sit in the back of the studio and, everybody like Wycliffe used to come in and be like, who's your little Lauryn Hill back there? Who's that? And so I'm like, she's not ready yet. She's not ready yet. And, I would just be pining away. And my first cut was actually Left Eye right before she died. That was my first cut, like as like a professional,
Right.
like a professional artist.
Yeah.
And I just remember Left Eye, coming back from Belize going, I want to keep you on the record. And I was like, me? You want to keep me on the record? And oh my God, I sounded crazy because we were still young, still learning, still shy. I was really used to singing because my voice was so high. I didn't know, no one sounded like me.
Yeah.
So I didn't have anybody to go to at that time. It was Mary, it was that sound, it was Keisha Cole, and here I was with this super high gospely voice that was just, who do I turn to? I don't know, And then Coco came out from SWV.
Yeah.
And Coco was like, voice like mine, let me show you how to use it. And she showed me things to do with my voice. And I was like, it was like an epiphany because here it was somebody who had like the same similar tone and the same similar. And she's like, oh, you got to use this to your advantage. And I was just like, really? Like, who wants, we both were like 6 feet. We both were like really tall. And I was like, who wants to see a tall girl with a really high voice? She's like, everyone.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And so that kind of like started, using it. And Salam was the one who kind of really discovered that I can do kid voices really well. And he used it to his advantage. And we ended up doing a Nas record. That's how I ended up doing I Know I Can. And
that one I didn't know. I didn't know you did that. So the voices on that record, that's you?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yo, honestly,
you really just showed me something too. I ain't even gonna act like I knew that. I did not know. I really thought that was like some little kids. I know I
can.
There
is not one kid on that record. It is all me.
Wow.
Not even that, but I just I like to do my research. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I've done a lot of research on you, but I never knew or discovered that at all. That's pretty dope.
I think the thing with me is like, I'm like this on the internet, like a one big splash, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There's like, because I was so introverted and I was so late to social media. I'm still late. So I still don't have a TikTok. I don't even be on Facebook. Because I'm a true artist and a true musician. I just feel like work will speak for itself, right? My band hate it. My team hate it. They're like, Angela, I'm like, so I was on a lot of records and did a lot of records, but people just couldn't figure out until they started piecing things together. And they're like, oh, she did that record for Britney Spears? Or she did that record for,
Come on, talk them things. Talk them things.
Just so many different people, I was, I, I did a lot of records with Puffy at the time on his album. A lot of people didn't know that either. I
Yeah.
actually did hits on his album
Mm-hmm.
that people were like, wait a minute, I know that record. You did that record?
Mm-hmm.
And people don't know I did Danny D. Kane. I did Showstopper and
Mm.
two other songs on the album, which was the biggest song that they had. It went triple platinum. And there's just so many, from that I just don't even talk about. And then there's a whole other part of my career that a lot of people don't know. I was a stylist for 16 years.
Oh wow.
And I did probably 1,000 plus videos, like
Mm.
through that time. I was really, really young, and I styled Boys to Men and ABC and Jodeci. So I did
Wait,
like
wait, wait,
forever.
wait, 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 wait. Not
That's
another
crazy.
bad creation.
Another bad creation. Yeah. So basically,
Yeah.
like when Michael was doing, we did all the BBD videos. So we did Thought It Was Me, Smile, all Poison, all of them. And, me and Mike got a really close relationship. And he's like, I love the way you dress. You dress crazy. I got these groups coming out. Would you dress them? And I was like, I don't know anything about styling, but we from Brooklyn
Mm-hmm.
and we are always fly.
Yes.
We gonna get it done.
We're gonna get it done. I mean, as a Caribbean person, you point us in a direction and we just gonna do it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it. Right. And so I was like, well, at the time I had put music on the back burner because my mother just taught me when opportunity presents itself, you just do it.
Yeah.
Do everything that you can do. Don't just put yourself in one box. And so I said, oh, I'll you want to help me? You think I can be a great director? I'll try. And it
Yeah.
led down the road to so many different. I was a casting director and then became this stylist where I was styling. Mike asked me to style Boys to Men, and then Boys to Men completely blew up with their style, with the argyle sweaters and the jean t-shirts and the bow ties. That was all me.
Wow.
You know, then from Boys to Men, I ended up doing Jodeci and so many videos. Like I
Yeah.
can't even begin to tell you, like from big, a
Wow.
lot.
So that's amazing. So you would have brushed shoulders with Misa and like
Yeah.
June Ambrose, and that's crazy.
So,
But
so me and June went to school together,
oh wow, okay,
right?
nice.
So we went to high school together, and we were in drama together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um, and basically, she was doing like In Sync and Backstreet, which was kind of like copying what we were doing with Boys to Men and all that.
yeah.
And the music came calling, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna leave this."
But so let me segue into that, because obviously
Yeah,
this is, and for anybody just tuning in, this is CaribStar Radio, of course, your Caribbean Sunrise. Angela Hunt is in the building, telling us some things that we didn't even know. We were just stopping at songwriter. We didn't know
yeah,
stylists, and you know what I mean. Probably you said directing. You threw that in
yeah,
there a little bit. We're gonna get into
yeah,
that, but I want to know specifically because a lot of the artists you named are American artists, right? And
yeah.
because this is CaribStar Radio, I want to know how the transition into getting into Machel, like getting into soca music. How did that even come about? Obviously, I know it's because of your roots, but give us a little more detail into that.
Well, my producer that I work with, like one of the closest producers I work with. Two of them actually. One is Jerry
Mm-hmm.
Wonder and one is Buddha, DJ Buddha, who's responsible for like Pitbull's career on the Latin side. He's like huge, but he's also big in just regular music. You know,
Mm-hmm.
has produced some greatest hits. We all know who Jerry Wonder is. We all know what he's done, and
Mm-hmm.
we all kind of saw it coming. We
Yeah.
saw like, where is there to go? We're so untapped.
Mm-hmm.
Our region is so untapped to the outside world, not to
Yeah.
us, but the
Right.
world. And I knew I wanted to do something, but I didn't know what it was. And I had so much experience and I had so much knowledge, not just in writing, but on the business side of things as well, too. I wanted to give back. I wanted to share what I've learned. I was like, I know how to make this bridge become one bridge. I didn't know how, but I knew what I was doing was I was working with a lot of white producers, and then they were taking the ideas that I was coming up with, and then they were like putting these little white girls on it, which is which kind of pissed me off. I was just like, so you're going to introduce this music, but you're not going to say where it came from. Not saying you have to say my name, but not saying what part of the world this came from, what region this came from. And then I remember Bieber's Sorry coming out, and that just did it for me. I was like, and they calling this tropical what? And my mom came in the room one day and she goes, you know what? You have given so much to America. You need to do something for Trinidad and Tobago. And I was like, but what could I do? You know, I didn't know anything that I could possibly do. And then one day I did this song, and somebody was looking for music, and it was Bungie and Fayan. And I said, oh, they're so cutting edge. Maybe they would understand what I'm trying to do here. They're risk takers, you know, so maybe they'll understand what I want to do. And they came to the studio, and I played Fayan Party Done, and she was like, I don't know about that. She didn't seem too interested in it. So I was like, okay. And I was pregnant at the time, and my manager said, you know what, we can't waste this record. Let's just put it out. I was like, oh, well, knock yourself out. You know, I'm pregnant. No big deal. And my producer said, I think we should put Machel on the record. I had met Machel years ago in Sweden, and we worked together. But I hadn't spoken to him since then. And we sent it to him, and he literally called right back and said, listen, Angela. Yeah. Hold on a minute. What are you doing with this? I was like, whatever you want. You can do whatever you want to do. That's one of the things I love about him. Like, when he hears something, he just acts immediately. And I swear, I think it was the same day he sent back his part. And he goes, listen, Angela, I know you're making a baby, but you trust me? I was like, yeah. Like, what do you want to do? He goes, let me put this record out. Like, let me introduce you to, you know, the Caribbean. And I didn't really understand what that meant. I just thought we was going to try a thing. Cool. Nothing's going to come of this. So it's all good. So I went ahead, had my baby. And as soon as I had my baby, they called me to come to Trinidad. And I said, for what? And they was like, you have to come to Carnival. This song has gone mad. And I still didn't understand the scope until I got off the plane. I got in the car with the driver, and the song was playing. And then the guy next to us driving, the song was playing. And then Party Done was playing in this car. And then I pull up to the hotel, and the hotel is playing Party Done. And I was like, wait, what's going on? And I really didn't understand. And I didn't understand when he brought me to Machel Monday what was taking place. I thought we were going to perform at like a little club with like 100 people.
Oh, wow.
And then I promise you. And then I went to the stadium, but I never saw the front of the stadium. I was in the back of the stadium. And then I remember like coming out, he goes, could you sing New York? And I was like, no, I can't do this. Like, this is impossible. And I ended up coming out on the stage. And if anybody remembers that moment when like I hugged him and on the stage, I was dumbfounded. Like, I was just completely in awe that the people were so welcoming.
That's amazing. I remember that year. That was one of the most memorable years in soca music. I remember on the road. I remember girls and that song, that was not one of the songs you could play for like 30 seconds. You had to play it all the way up to the break and past the break. And that jump, Angela, let me tell you something. I'm getting chills talking about it right now, because it's even to this day, when people think about that record and still hear that record, it brings you right back to that time. And to hear that, you know, that was pretty much your first take on soca. That was your first, like right out the gate. You got it. You got it right. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is
Well,
amazing.
I felt so good about it because it was still me. I wasn't trying to be anybody else, and it was my own lane and it was my own thing. I make music for it to be timeless, one, to be stadium anthemic, two, but then to inspire others to be just as creative as I've tried to push myself to be. That's the
Right.
I want others to be like, wow, she really pushed the envelope. Now let me go in and like really. I'm not saying that you have to say something so prolific, and but I always feel like a song should be approached like you're never going to say something again.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I wanted to come in and bring. I wanted to bring just a lane that no one's ever heard before and something else. And so, I remember when Machel like, okay, so we're gonna do another song. I was like, yeah, we could, because I really wasn't going to, because my goal at that time was I was on the path to more so going to global artistry. And I said, well, listen, I don't do things twice. So if we did something, we did it.
Right.
And we could never do that again because we'll never be in that space again. We'll never be in that time again. So we have to move on. He was like, no, I feel what you're saying. So what are you thinking? And then boom, I played in Mon Bon Ami.
Wait. On that note, right now, I think it's the perfect time to let us take a quick break, ladies and gentlemen.
Do it.
Angela Hunte is in the building. If you did not know how phenomenal she is, this interview is just putting you on, putting us all on, and it's just an honor that you're here. And I honestly love your vibe, love your energy. I love your story, and I want to know more about your story. So we're gonna take a quick break. Shout out to everybody locked on the website, via iHeartRadio, of course, available 24/7, and of course also our website, CaribStarRadio.com. We're gonna take a quick break and come right back. Angela Hunte, oh my goodness, she is in the building.
Yes, we are.
That's right. That's right. New York City, Jersey, Connecticut, Atlanta, D.C., Florida, everybody in Canada, everybody in London, and all over the Caribbean. Of course, this is CaribStar Radio 103.5 FM HD3. And of course, we have Angela Hunte still in the building. The legendary Miss Angela Hunte in the building. I'm learning a lot, man. First and foremost, I just want to say, thank you for your contributions to the culture. Thank you so much. You're like this. We always look at the people in front of the camera, and a lot of times there's a lot of people that connect the dots. And without you, a lot of these songs wouldn't have happened. A lot of these groups, you talked about styling some of these groups. Like, who knew? Like, Another Bad Creation. I got a question about that. Were you responsible for the Inside Out thing? Was that you? That was you?
Yes, I was.
Wow.
All the
No.
the Sparta jackets.
Nah, Angela. Nah.
Really? You don't let me go over there and pull out my Another Bad Creation.
Red.
Wow.
Roll, Dave.
Roll, yeah, little Dave. Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
Big sister, even though I was extremely young myself. And I think that's what made me so different than everyone else. I was so young, doing this job that was generally not done by somebody this young. But the director was very, he made it a point to hire really young people.
Right.
And give us, kids that lived in Brooklyn or, wherever we came from, the tri-state area, a chance to come in and, work on these videos, So I ended up working on, Public Enemy, Big Daddy Kane, all of Cold Chillin' videos. I worked on, Biz Markie, one of his Just a Friend, I did and just even looking back on those things, sometimes I forget, like, 'cause it's just such a long lifetime of so many things thus far.
Right.
That by the time I got to the soca, it was really weird because it was the first time I was in a place where no one really knew who I was or what. When America, it's completely different. Everyone knows me here. I'm a successful writer. I've worked with so many, from Europe, on back down all over the world. And there's one thing I just want to say that I never really get to say too much in interviews, especially when I'm speaking to the Caribbean people, is I have to shout out Machel because ooh, he just yeah, he just is, he's special, and he always will be special to me. We have such a bond and a relationship, even outside of music, where it's, we've had highs, we've had lows,
Yeah.
just in music, that's just how music is. But he's always been there for me. He's always brought me on a stage and has handed me a microphone when no one would. And when no one would even open the door for me, he opened the door.
Yeah.
So I just want to say I'm very grateful for that. And I think one of the biggest 360 moments out of all the accolades, like, winning Grammys, doing this, doing that, all that's great. But to get on stage at Barclays
Oh wow.
and sing Party Done,
Wow.
I can't.
That that was it. That was it for you.
That
That but something you just kind of grazed over, or it
yeah,
grazed is the word
yeah,
Grammy Award winning.
That.
yes.
Yeah, we
Let's talk them things, Angela Hunt. Let's talk about the Grammys, being Grammy nominated and being an actual winner.
Yeah.
Uh, it's 2011. This is Empire State of Mind.
Yes.
Alicia Keys, Jay-Z. Talk to us a little bit about that record and how you even became a writer on that record.
Well, I was on a writing trip in London actually, and it was my last session that I was doing, and we actually was writing for someone else. We were doing a song actually for Sting. And so this happened to be up on a board playing, and I was like, yo, what's that? Even though that morning I wanted to say something about New York, but didn't really know what it was on my mind. And we were like working on this record, like, who don't want a record on Sting? I mean, I want a record on Sting. He's like one of my idols. And so just even being to be placed in an opportunity of, possibly that happening, that's what you need to be focused on.
Right,
And
right.
I was like, now what's this record here? And it's funny because in the room there was kind of being fought on doing it. And I was like, well, if you could just, let us do it and get it out the way, then we,
Right.
we could go back to what we're doing. And that's kind of like exactly what happened. And, we had this record. And for me, every time I do records, it's done. Once I do it, it's done and it's over. And I move on to the next thing. I'm a person, I am constantly hungry. They call me the gunner because I am
Come
super I'm super competitive. So, people always say, oh, you throw writers in the room and they all gonna come up with the same song. I don't know who told you that, because when I come in the room, I aim, I shoot, I'm knocking everybody down, and that's it. I've always been like that.
A.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no, I'm gonna come out with the best song and the biggest song, and it's gonna knock everybody's socks off. Because as a writer, people like to be really modest about it, but this is a very competitive sport. It's a sport, and it's either you get, you live or you get eaten. So every time you shoot an idea out, you best believe you better shoot your best shot.
Right.
And I got really good at that. You
So
know,
New York, you actually, is it like you wrote the hook? Is that when you're the story is
yeah.
you wrote the hook?
So it was a whole song, right?
Right.
The
Okay.
hook
Uh-huh.
is the same. The hook is the
Okay.
same, right?
Right.
But it was a whole song. And so by the time it got to Jay-Z, he was like, I gotta have this record. And we were like, no, you can't have it. And he's like, yes, I have to have it. This song is gonna change my life as I've once known it. Which
wait.
it did.
You hold on.
Wow.
Sorry to cut you. You just said no to Jay
Yeah.
Z. You told him no.
We did. I don't mean it but we did, because the record was going to someone else by this point in time. Because actually we sent them the record and they told us they didn't like it. Because that was the first thought. I was like, he's never really had a record about New York. Like this would be crazy for him.
Right.
And they was like, oh, we'll pass. Don't really like this. And it's cool. That happens in the business. You know, us writers always say there is a home for a song. You just have to get it to that person.
Right.
But it was meant for him because 8 months later, my publisher, who is John Platt, who is the biggest publisher in this business. I am very lucky to be signed to him. He has lent a hand in every album Jay-Z has ever done, and Beyonce and countless others. And so he goes, you got to give me this record. And I was like, no, it's going to someone else. I can't give you the record. He goes, no, you're giving us this record. And he was the
Wow.
one who actually played it for Jay-Z. You know, there's a thing saying that he was sending him a Father's Day, Happy Father's Day, something like that. But in actuality, I think he slipped him the record so he could hear it. And he did hear it and was like, what is this record? Like, I need to have this record. I don't even know when he did it, but I knew he muted the verses and kept the hook. And originally it was me on the hook. And although I was flattered and it was amazing, I felt like we all collectively felt it needed a bigger demographic. It needed, someone. We just didn't know who that someone was. And it was funny, like being in the studio and going through that list. It was like, should it be B? I'm like, no, she's from Houston. That makes no sense. Even though, of course, we know she'll kill it, of course, but this needs to be a New Yorker. And he had already did a record with Mary. And then some of the other people we was naming didn't sound like me. And he wanted it to sound the exact same. I even heard there was a part where Kanye was like, I don't know who that girl is on the record, but you need to keep her on the record.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, Alicia Keys.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. And it was the perfect fit. And we have like similar tones. And she killed it and knocked it out the park. And then there you go. But I don't think Vayne, Kevin, no one knew. No one. Yo, let me tell you, I was having dinner in New York on a rooftop. And we got this text saying, watch the VMAs. And I was like,
Yeah.
watch the VMAs? What? Like, I'm having dinner. Like, I put the phone down. Never watched the VMA. So I didn't know what happened. I didn't know that he came out with Alicia and
Sing the song.
say the song. Little Mama had
Yeah.
a moment. And, that whole
That
that whole
was
Oh,
spiel.
shout out to Little Mama.
that
Shout
was a
out to Little
moment.
Mama.
That was a moment. That was a moment.
That was a moment. Yeah, right? But I mean, I get it.
You made her proud, Angela. You made Little Mama proud. That we blame you. It's your fault.
I'll take that blame because what I saw that night, sitting on the rooftop, my phone was going bananas and I wasn't answering it because I was having dinner with friends.
You're right.
But I look over the railing of where I was eating and I just see people in their cars, hanging out their cars, screaming the records being played over and over on people's radios. And I'm like, oh, someone probably leaked the record.
Oh.
But I didn't understand what was happening. And then, when I got back home that night and I realized my brother was like, did you see the VMAs? I was like, no. And then I saw it and I realized what happened. And then the next week or so, the Yankees won.
Right.
And that was it. That was it. Like when you saw the mayor and Jay-Z and A-Rod and Derek Jeter, and they were standing on the float, and it was like, here's our official anthem of New York City. That was it. It was a wrap.
Before that is like Frank Sinatra or something. Like, right?
Frank Sinatra, or the Yankees had taken me out to the ball game. That's about it. Like
Right. No. I mean, for like the anthem of New York, I believe that was Frank Sinatra.
That was
right?
Frank Sinatra, and I was actually at, I think it was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I believe it was Billy Joel, because he has a song. Some folks like to get away, take a holiday.
Right.
And he just looked at me and was like, that, like,
You got it.
I just want you to know, yeah, that that does not happen to someone that young. How old was I when I made, you know, New York State of Mind? I think his record was called something like that. I actually have sung it where I've sang his version first and gone to that version, and it's just unreal to have a. I've had so many records that have sold millions and have been huge, but that affected people's lives and it affected city and there's so many people from New York planted all over the world, so people felt like everywhere they was and it came on, they was like, y'all know I'm from New York.
I take it even. I want to take it further because I grew up in Virginia. My father, my family, my father lived in New York. My friends, but people who are not from New York,
Right.
never even entered New York, never
New
even
York.
crossed the state lines,
Right.
sing that song with passion, and it's like when that song drops, it's like you literally like get goosebumps. You want to feel, you want it to be from New
You wanted
York.
to be from New York.
And
Absolutely.
in that 3 minutes, however long the song is, you
Right.
were from New York. Everybody in the
Right.
club at the party is from New York when that song is on.
100%.
So that became
100%.
like just like a world anthem. So big up yourself on that. Congratulations on that. I know
you.
Kevin
Yeah.
had a question, and I know we got to wrap up as well. But honestly, I could talk to you like forever and ever and ever. Like what?
Yeah.
It's so much. I know. We're gonna dissect. I have a couple of projects coming out actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some really great projects I have coming out that
You have an album coming out. That's what I wanted to talk
I
about.
have an album. Mango is coming out this summer. It was supposed to come out last year, but I had some setbacks last year that I had to take care of, and unfortunately, I had to push it back. So I was so bummed about it, but thank God, we got over like some humps that we had, and now we're able to share the music with everyone. Because I think like people like, well, what happened? Why didn't she come out with any more soca music? I wasn't gonna come out with any more soca music, to be honest with you, because I had some really rough bumps. I wasn't welcomed openly a lot it was very hard at first. People were like, I would get the stares. What is she doing here? She doesn't belong. Or she just coming here and she just doing this song. How she get on the stage? She doesn't deserve it. But people don't realize
Wow.
I had a whole full career of many accolades before this. This was just another piece of the journey. And what they don't understand, it was very hurtful for me because it was the most important part of my journey. This is my heritage. This is what runs through my veins. And I was going through the airport the other day, and I'll leave you with this because I couldn't wait to just share this with someone because it was such a moment. And I was going through the airport, I was going through Piarco Airport, and I saw Kes. And I just kind of like waved to him, like, hey, hi. And he was, shaking hands with people, and he made his way over to me, and he took both of my hands, and he looked at me and he said, Angela, I'm listening to what you're doing. You cannot stop making music. And I just,
Wow.
it
Yeah.
took me back for a second because that's not what I was expecting for him to come. I thought he was going to be like, hey, Angie, how you doing? What's going on? And I just, the sincerity, and then like all the people that were staring at us and all the people trying to talk to us. But it was just this moment with me and him standing there, and he's holding my hands and he's like, please, I'm begging you, I'm asking you not to stop. And my eyes started welling up. I just started crying, and I looked at him, and I was like, "Wow!" I was like, "Thank you for that." Like people don't realize that those moments from your peers mean so much. Like I wrote a record with Teddyson John called Palais.
Oh, all right.
No
Come
one knows
on.
I wrote that record because they forgot to put my name on the record.
Oh, wow.
And
Who knew?
Good Lord.
Who knew? Wow.
well, no one would know.
Wow.
And even though I love Teddyson and I forgave him, it's just I want to do that for more artists. I want to write for more artists. I want to be able to share my gift with them and elevate our culture. That was the whole point of this,
Right.
you know. And I just feel like we have a ways to go with the camaraderie. I feel like it's gotten a lot better, but it's in everything that we do. It's not, it's in American music too, but I can't fight this beast here and fight this beast here. So,
Well, mhm.
there has to be a leveling ground. And, I just know that the people don't deserve to get mixed in that, and they deserve to have music. So that's the thing I wake up for every day. They want to hear it. It doesn't matter if the DJ supported, whether the radio supported, whether you're doing shows or you're not. If people are coming up to me everywhere I go, they're all in my DMs, something, anything, they deserve to have that. And that's what I'm doing this for.
Absolutely. You mentioned. I want to take it back for a second. You mentioned the Barclays Center. I actually was the opening DJ on that show. I was
Yes.
the first voice that they heard. I remember that crowd. It was 20,000 people, no seats, and
No seats.
no seats. And I remember after coming off stage, because when you're on stage, you're doing what you're doing. But I remember coming off stage, and I think it was you. I was watching you and Machel. I was watching. And, in that moment, I'm getting goosebumps right now because
Yeah.
I used to be an electrician and I helped build the Barclays Center. And when Jay-Z
Wow.
used to, come to visit, all the workers had to leave. We couldn't eat food in the building. We had to eat outside in the trailer in the cold, sometimes in the rain. And I remember walking in, getting escorted through security, opening up the show, and then seeing all the artists. And I didn't. It wasn't like I was emotional, but I wasn't I didn't tear up, but
Yeah.
I was like, this is
You was in shock.
yeah, I was
This is crazy.
right, and I'm hearing these moments that you have gone through these moments over and over again with the Empire State of Mind, with Kes coming and talking to you, with Marshall's actually choosing Party Done, with you hearing Party Done on the radio, and for me, I think that's just a blessing to get those moments. Those moments are just a blessing, man, and you're truly blessed, and we do
Yeah.
need more music, so we're looking forward to we're looking forward to the mango. We want the mango.
We
You know,
want the mango
you
now.
need the mango.
We
Trust
need
me,
the
it's a
mango.
playlist you didn't think you needed. I'm like, again, I said I'm just so grateful for all the artists, from Fayan to Nadia to Ryan Saeed to Barry Hype to all the people who just constantly call me and there's so much more to Patrice, Pat Snow. She's always like, Angela, she looks up to me so much and she doesn't know that I know that, but I know that she does. And I'm so proud of Nessa. And there's just so many great relationships that I've been able to have over time. And I'm grateful for that. And I just want people to know that I'm grateful and I'm so honored to just have the love of the people. Because everywhere I go, they're like, yo, when I came out in Barclays, I had on a whole dress and I had a t-shirt that was sitting on the side. And I remember like somebody telling me, "You're not putting on that shirt that say Flatbush." I was like, "No, you don't see my thing." They was like, "Man, take that dress off and put that Flatbush sweatshirt on." And when I came out in that Flatbush sweatshirt, the
Yeah,
Caribbean community, it, I remember this Machel looking at me like, "Yeah,
that is it.
That's it right there.
let's go. Come on, Angela, let's go." And so I'm very grateful. I'm very
Special
honored and
day.
very humbled.
Special day.
Well,
Special day.
I wanted to talk to you, well, introduce you to some other artists that you may not have known.
Absolutely.
It's a soca artist named Kevin Crown and a rapper named Vayne, and we were looking for like the top record of 2024.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I
do?
feel like you could write us a hit record.
What we
I
do?
mean, let's do it. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
man.
I'm trying to go to the Grammys too, Angela. I'm trying to get a Grammy.
I'm trying
You
to
know what I mean?
So at least another highlight at the Caribbean Music Awards. I had such a great. That was another moment.
That
Yeah, that's it. That right there. That
That
right
was
there.
That was another moment to
Yeah.
the King's Theater. When I pulled up to the red carpet and saw that we had this red carpet on Flatbush Avenue,
Come on.
I was like,
shout
"Come
out
on."
shout out to the
I was like, "Look
CMAs.
at this.
Shout out to the CMAs,
Look
man.
at this."
Yeah, man.
I was like,
Yeah.
we reached, and it was a moment, and I'm just grateful. And I just want y'all to know that I have a laptop full of songs. So anytime you're ready, just pull up to my
Okay,
studio.
We
okay.
ready. Prince got he
No,
got your information.
I'm gonna
Shout
get
out to
her
Prince.
information. I'm a bypass. I'm gonna get your
And
number myself, Angela.
we
And
got that.
where do
We
you
got that.
where you residing now? Where you at? You in New York? Where you at?
So I
We
live in
all over the place.
I am all over the place, but I have dual homes. I live in Miami and I also live in New York as well. I have a
Okay.
place in New York, so I do both. My husband is a Miami boy, so he can't really live in the cold too much. So I'm back and forth, back and forth. But right now, I have like a documentary that I'm shooting and I'm directing about a beautiful young steel band orchestra from Brooklyn. It is called the Flatbush Project, and I cannot wait to share this documentary with the world because the steel pan is just so, these kids master this pan, and then when they're done, they don't get scholarships to school. Like, what are they?
Right.
So this is to highlight. My goal is to see them at Carnegie, Lincoln, and so forth and so forth. And there's so much, and I'll come back another time, and we'll talk about that when we get ready to drop it. But I am making a whole album with these kids.
Oh,
So
you
I
definitely
love
got to
that.
come back
I
yeah,
love that. I feel like we just
without a
scratched
question. Okay.
we just scratched the surface of Angela Hunt, because you touched on something like as far as us sticking together, like the islands, and then there may be people like yourself and me as well, who parents and your whole lineage is in the Caribbean, but you were born here. So our
yeah,
experience is different, but a lot of our culture is still the same. But a lot of times people say, all these Yankee people, all these
yeah.
American,
It's foreign.
all these
Yeah.
foreigners, all they don't know nothing about this. And
Yeah, me too. Me
the,
too. I was born in Virginia. I'm in Barbados now. I live in Barbados, but I was born in the States as well. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
so we
they
do get a
they don't.
pushback.
Sometimes we have. Sometimes it's even more. I've said some things in front of Marshall's mother. She's like, I never hear that. Put a plate on your head if you're choking on a fishbone. I'm like, yeah. Like little things that we don't laugh. Or Marshall would laugh at me because I'm a city Trini girl. I'm not a country Trini girl. So
Okay.
Right, right.
afraid of a lot of things. So that was always like a lot of big jokes with us. But we have power in numbers, Kevin. We have powers in numbers. And I don't believe that there's, I have Bajan roots too. My dad's side of the family is Bajan. So shout out to Christ Church. And nobody don't know I have that
Come,
side.
I'm in Christchurch right now. Come on, Angela.
That side of me, that side of my Asian side. The people don't
Hey,
know
hey,
that.
hey, hey,
Oh,
hey,
So
all right,
they don't
dang.
know that. But
All right, dang.
you understand? All right.
hey. Jesus.
I love Barbados, but I don't feel like we have Jamaica. We have Barbados. We have this. I feel like we have one Caribbean.
Come on, talk them things, Angela.
One. It's one because at the end of the day, whether it's potato, curry chicken, or chicken curry,
You're eating it and it is good.
you eat it and it's good and it's all the same thing. And we have powers in numbers.
Yes.
We just have all different forms of music, and that's what makes us so special. But at the end of the day, me personally, I believe it's one Caribbean.
Nice.
There you go. And that's the whole point of CaribStar Radio. That's why we are here.
Yes.
Because we can't do it alone. It can't just be Trinidad. It can't
No.
just be Jamaica. It can't
No.
just be Barbados or St. Vincent
No.
and Grenada. It has to be everyone together. And also shout out once again, I know you mentioned it, but to Caribbean Elite Magazine and the Caribbean Music Awards, because that's their mission. That's their agenda as well. And we're all working together as a community to get it done. So Angela, we want to thank you. I personally also obviously want to thank you for passing through. I do not want this to be the last time you pass through. I definitely want that hit record
Okay.
under my belt.
We gotta do the thing
You
though.
said under my belt.
We gotta do the thing. I can't let you leave. We gotta do this.
Oh no! So Kevin likes to play a game at the end, and these are fun questions. So go ahead, Kevin.
All right. So as always, I'm gonna just give you the disclaimer. Right? There's no wrong answers. There's no right answers. This is just your opinion. I'm gonna have to be creative with this one because you have so much connections. I'm gonna try to keep this as impartial as possible. Okay? You can pass, but it's always good when you answer the question. Okay? So I'm gonna start this one different. Erica Badu, or Lauryn Hill?
Lauryn Hill.
Nah.
Come on.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I love Miss
El-
Badu, but El Boogie.
Come on, El Boogie. Yeah,
I,
come on.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go with that.
She going with Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jersey.
I'm going in now. All right. All right.
Okay.
Babyface or Luther Vandross?
Oh, Babyface. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to. You know why? Because he's a singer-songwriter.
Okay.
Right.
People don't know Luther ain't write his stuff.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I would have said Luther or what's his name? Freddie
Jackson?
or Luther. Then Teddy. Teddy, you would do like, not saying Teddy Riley, but yeah, something like that. Teddy Riley or Babyface. Something more like that.
I'm gonna have to go with Babyface hands down because
Still.
just Babyface, like sitting up.
Babyface.
Like how many songs could we name? I don't even.
All right. Michael Jackson or Prince? Here we go.
You got him.
You got me. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna have to say Prince.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
And I wish I could tell you why, but I can't. This is
All right. No, it's all right.
It's a
all right.
family show, so
Oh.
I can't say why. But I have Michael for my own. Michael's voice for me has helped my voice, but Prince has helped me as a songwriter.
Okay.
And as a performer, like to me, Prince was just unreal.
Okay.
So I have to say Prince. I'm sorry, Michael. God. Well, they both passed. So, oh God, sorry.
Yeah.
God, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's not. We not. This is just a preference thing. All right. Biggie or Tupac?
Biggie. How dare you?
Brooklyn.
Come on, Brooklyn.
What? I mean,
What?
This
is best style right here. This is Biggie, Notorious B.I.G. all day.
Okay.
My daughter, who's 9 years old, says Notorious B.I.G. She doesn't even say Biggie. She says Notorious. Mommy, you listening to Notorious B.I.G.? Yes, I am, and you're listening to it too.
That's
Absolutely.
it. That's it. BK all day.
All day.
All right.
BK all day.
I got a couple of these. I got a couple of these.
Yeah.
Come bring it, Vane.
Yeah.
I got to rub my locks. Sort of.
Yeah, do it. I gonna run my braids.
Patti LaBelle or Aretha Franklin?
Oh, Riri.
I'm
I'm gonna have to go with Riri because I'm not saying nothing about the Queen Patty, but Riri was a composer, and that means so much to me. Not that makes you better than the next person, but Riri.
All right, I got another one.
Okay.
Since we talk about songwriters.
Okay.
The Dream or Neo?
Whoa. Hello.
Hopefully Neo never sees this, but I'm gonna have to go with The Dream.
All right.
You know why? Because
Why?
Dreams vast. You talking single ladies and like he's all over the place. He has just produced so many different styles of record. Not that Neo hasn't either. But Dream just be coming out with the Dream drops it every time. Every time.
Got you. Escape or SWV?
Come on.
Come on now.
SWV.
Come on now.
I was gonna ask that.
All right.
Number one, I went to school with
Coco.
Taj as well. So Taj, June, and myself all was in the same class.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay. So, and Coco is like my dear good friend, and Lily's my homie. Like, even though she was like from the Bronx, whatever. Like, but it's Brooklyn. Like,
BK all day.
I had to ask that. Crisscross, and I know the answer. Crisscross or ABC?
Come on, Inside Out, boy.
ABC. They were tyrants. They were just musical little tyrants. They were amazing. Yes.
That's what's
All right,
up, man. That's what's up. I have more, but it's like I'm saying, you have so much connections. I already know the answers. Like,
we need to do one from the Caribbean. And
no, I was trying to figure it out. I was gonna say Marshall or Kess, but I kind of know the answer. Then I was
don't do that to me.
Yeah, right. That one right
exactly.
there.
That's the problem. So you can say Patrice or Fan.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
I don't want to. I don't want to put you in that position. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to. All right, we
looking out for you. Maybe we could do some reggae. A couple reggae artists.
We could do reggae.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I would have to say You know why I'm gonna say I love Fan, because she's a risk taker, and I love that, and I think she's not being put on a pedestal for her risk taking. But I'm only saying Pats because I think they be sleeping on Pats. Like Pats is a world star. Like, she's a world star. Like, give her due, please. Give her a road march or something or anything. Like, I feel like she's so deserving of that. So I'm gonna say Pats.
There you go. All right.
What about Destra?
But they're both incredible.
What about Destra?
Sure.
Destra or Allison Hines? Allison Hines.
I ain't gonna have to go to be a John. That's sorry. That's you know, they're both queens, but Allison.
Yes.
Allison.
You better let them know. Come on,
I
Angela.
have to say that. She poi.
But I would say Destra probably wouldn't like, because she came out after Allison, so she probably would be like.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know, but I love her too. But
no, meaning that she would say Allison been out longer, so she wouldn't want to be compared. She probably would more so want to be compared with Patrice. Or, Anyhow.
So let's do some reggae. Beanie Man, Bun Tequila.
Bounty.
Cross. Hanger.
Sorry, I know all the Beanie Man fans, but I'm a Bounty girl. I'm Brooklyn, so we gonna go with Bounty all day.
Vibes Cartel or Mavado?
Oh, Vibes all day.
All right.
She like
all day.
Straight Brooklyn. You need to bring it back home to Brooklyn. You need to come home Brooklyn. You need to come up from Miami, spend some time with us.
We got another one, Sizzler or Capleton.
I'm gonna have to go with this is. I'm gonna have to go with this is. Sorry, that's my. I play his music all the time.
Put some fire in the screen.
There you go.
Put some fire.
All right. Oh, I got a good one.
Come on, Vayne.
Stephen Marley or Junior Gong?
Whoa.
Oh, come on, Vayne. Junior Gong.
I mean, but they're brothers, so that's why it's that.
Yeah, I'm just saying Junior Gong because he just got this.
The swag.
Yeah, he just got this swag that's crazy.
Should I show her? No, not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should. She got something to show you. This is. Let's just check it out, and it's always next to her. Look at that. It's always next to her.
Lauren.
It's always next to her.
Lauren Hill and Damian Marley.
She probably drives with that.
That is amazing.
Somebody drew that for me and gave it to me on my birthday.
I could see that in your art collection. I could see that, Angela.
Well, I don't know who that person is, but I'd love to have me and Machel drawn. That would be awesome.
Lit.
Thanks.
I could talk to her. I will talk
thanks
to her.
Thanks and please in advance.
We gotta ask that one question you always ask, Vayne. We gotta ask the one question, man. Come on, take it home.
Oh,
come on, man.
I think I know the answer, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Beyonce or Rihanna?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to go with Riri.
Yeah, both Bajans, Allison and Rihanna.
All right.
Because I love Beyonce, but I have to be honest. I wasn't a fan. I don't know her music. Mm-hmm. I can't go to her concert and be like, I wouldn't know. But Riri, I gonna bust out every Riri song written for Rihanna. I've so many times with my homeboy Tehran. We have written so many records for her. I was in the studio with her on her first album, and I remember her sitting there. She was eating a box of Rick's crackers, and I was so happy to be in the studio with a Caribbean person. She looked at me. She was like, when I finish with this, and I can't wait to do what I really want to do, and I'll never forget those words.
Yeah.
Because like 2-3 years later, the weave is gone.
Good girl gone bad.
Yeah. So I have to go. I have to go with Riri for sure.
I love that, man.
Thank you so much for everything.
Yes.
You are phenomenal. We want to give you your flowers live on air right now. Angela Hunte, you deserve
the legendary
all the praise,
the legendary,
all the glory, the legendary Angela
Hunte, the Renaissance woman. What stylist, songwriter, singer,
Producer, director.
producer, like
Mother,
hip
wife.
hop,
Mother, wife.
soca, party done. What? Oh my goodness! Listen.
But.
Listen,
Yeah.
I really feel like, we could like, if this was like a movie, we couldn't even do a movie. It would have to be like a Netflix limited series where you have part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. You have the outtakes.
Facts.
It's a lot. There's levels to Angela Hunte.
Man, if I didn't have an MD, I would say, Kevin, you might be.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
So I'll leave that there with you.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You're on to something, boy. That's really scary.
Soon something may be in the works, folks.
Visionary.
Yes,
Visionary.
there is.
Visionary. I love that. I love that. But definitely we gotta keep in contact. I would love to connect with you, just to talk, and of course music wise as well. And definitely everybody
Absolutely.
look out for the project. It's called Mango. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The return of Angela
Yeah, we
Hunte.
have some amazing duets on there. We got some dope ass producers. We got Buddha. We got Jerry Wonder. We have things on there that nobody would even expect coming. It's a global album at its, some of the most. It's the beginning of me just spreading my wings to all the music that I've done all over the world. So I'm looking forward to. I got a crazy duet with Wyclef.
Jeez.
It's crazy. He comes in the record like. Sheesh, like just not right.
So I'm gonna need that exclusive. I'm gonna need that when y'all put together and y'all send it out. You know who y'all send it to, him and him and him. Just make sure I'm on the list of him and hers and Vayne, of course.
Absolutely.
Make sure we get that link before it goes out to the general public, so we could.
And I thought I was the only one who said sheesh.
No, you're not the only one. That's my word.
Do you say?
I lived in London. I lived in London for like 8 years, so
wow.
there's a part of me very, very British.
Did you? Do you say wowzers too? Do you say that? Because that's.
I do say wow.
You don't say wowzers. You cannot say wowzers.
I just wanted to make him feel good.
Okay.
Vayne be up here in the morning.
I say wowzers.
Vayne be up in the morning like wowzers. I'm like, what decade are we in? You talking about wowzers, right? Or what are we doing?
That's a Virginia thing, man.
I got it from some cartoon. I'm pretty sure I got it from some cartoon.
And I just tell her, gee willikers.
Gee willikers.
Yeah.
Anyhow, thank you, Angela, once again for passing through. Shout out to everybody. You can find this full interview very soon on our YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, CaribStar Radio Live. We are everywhere. Subscribe so you don't miss the notification. Angela Hunte, the queen, the legendary, in the building. And of course, this is just your first time, but it won't be your last.
I hope so. I hope I'm able to come back. Thank you, Vayne. Thank you, Kevin. And make sure this is amazing. CaribStar Radio.
Thank you so much.